In recent weeks, more than 24 towns have introduced short-term decrees, with fines being issued to women wearing full-body swimsuits on the beach. This in a country where religion is considered a private matter. Joining me now from the Council of State, France 24's Yves Irvine. Yves, this is a ruling, a decision with nationwide implications.
Indeed, as you mentioned there, the Council of State, France's highest administrative court, looking at that request from human rights leagues to overturn as soon as possible just one of some 30 bans put in place by municipalities, notably in the south of the country. Bans that forbid beachwear, any beachwear, that conspicuously shows somebody's religion. Now, the bans don't mention the word burkini, but they were seen as targeting that. However, we have seen police, asking women wearing long sleeves, tunics, people with headscarves to remove so on beaches in the south, and the judges gathered here today in Paris will have to look at whether or not that is legal in terms of France's secular laws. And now the mayors who put them in place say they're a necessary measure given the current climate, and they say it's to protect public order. However, critics say that all you're doing is stigmatizing and discriminating against one sector of society, Muslim women. So we'll have to see what the court will hand down here. They're judging specifically on one of the municipalities, but of course that would expect that then that would set precedents for the others.
Yves, the French debate over Islamic clothing has been going on for quite some time, for years.
I would think possibly since the law came into place back in 1905, that law that separated church and state. Even within that year, there was debates of how that law would be interpreted. Could priests and nuns walk down the streets in their habits, and politicians there very quick and wanting to underline that that should be the case. In more recent times, we had this veil banned in French schools in 2004, not without a lot of debate and a lot of controversy. Then in 2010, a law that came into place in 2011 was the ban on the full face veil. That was, France was the first European country to do so, again with a lot of debate and a lot of controversy. France regularly looks at its interpretation of secularism and what that means for the state, whether or not they want an intense neutrality, one that forbids all signs of religion in public spaces, or whether it's up to the individual to have that freedom to show any religion they would like. The divisions go right to the current government in place. We've been hearing this week from the Education Minister saying that she's upset to see the proliferation of burkini bans across the country, saying that for her it impacts on individual freedoms. However, the Prime Minister, Manuel Valls, retorts saying that it was a necessary measure to defend what the French state stands for. He says that anything that calls into question a woman's body as being impure or something that needs to be hidden has to be forbidden.